Worst part about this is I can't post to Instagram and post here at the same time. Let's see if I get familiar with stuff. Here's tool. Save, highlight, share, you might comment. Nope, we got one in here, I think. Just trying to get familiar with what's. Is there a chat for y'all? There we go. Now there's a chat. Now I can see it. Appreciate that, Brian. I love doing reviews. My main thing is just keeping it straight, like telling people like it truly is versus the paid reviews that people always give it. Wait for a couple people to get in here before we start taking this board apart. I'm tired. What up, Lewis? That's what it's all about, honestly. Like saving people money. Like even when I reach out and I ask, like, "Yo, what's this? Give me the secrets." Like tell me what's coming out. I'm like, I just want to know what I should be saving my money for. Because for me to buy one thing and then literally a month later something else comes out that's the same thing, that's the annoying part. But it's dope because that's the growth of the sport right now. Like there's just so much happening at one time. You could be pulled in every which direction. So it's a blessing and a curse. Let's start unscrewing stuff. We got 5 y'all in here. What up? What up? How's everybody's night? Just got done having dinner, so I'm actually trying to wake back up. I have breakfast for dinner, so it's like one of my favorite things to do is have dinner. Nice. This is the 007s, the GTS on it. They're nice. Don't get me wrong. They are beautiful, beautiful rails. But something about having all your shit just wide open is just it just gets like, if you keep your board, you're not riding it in weather like we have right now, like snow and whatnot, and it's just, I don't know, one rollover in the mud out here and it's just gonna be caked all up on the insides and stuff. It would break my heart. So we'll see what happens. That's all I have to say. We'll see what happens with these. I appreciate that when it comes to the Savage Approved thing. That's something I thought of, and I was like, you know what? I'm like, let me start just like compiling a list, because honestly, I bought a lot of stuff over the time, and some stuff good, some stuff not as good, and I figure, like, for instance, amazing rails, but downfall is if you run an air tag or anything in your board, then you have to figure out a new way to do it, because tucking it in the side, it'll fall out the side of the rail. So you got to get your Dremel work going and do something like that. So ups and downs. But yeah, tonight is literally just to chill, and I'm gonna just swap this tire out. That new Float Life tire. Um, it's a special one. I will say that it's definitely for specific use. It's not going to be for everybody. Um, some people are going to hate it. In fact, I predict y'all think the Enduro got some shade. I predict this getting some shade just like that did. But I'm here to tell you, expect a heavier tire. Like, don't get it. Expect your range to go down. Expect everything that comes along with, the weight of a tire. So right now, actually off season right now, I'm not running any kind of like bindings, control freaks, anything like that, flight fins. I went back to just raw riding just for the training in the off season. But I actually run Joe hooks. They are these. This is like the first edition that they have. This would be one up front. This is a goofy and a regular that I got sent. These are more of the larger size. So foot goes up under there. And for the price of these, honestly, they're, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck. Now, mind you, I haven't tried control freaks. I've tried overlanders a little bit. Yo, Galady, what's good, bro? Um, I've tried overlanders a little bit. Matter of fact, it might have been your overlanders that I've tried before, Dave. Um, and they're cool. They're nice. Less my flavor, just for the fact that like they don't actually hold your feet. Now the newer model, maybe they do. Control freaks, how they cup over, like there's something actually holding your feet. I found with overlanders when I was trying them. Now again, it wasn't set up for me, so all of that taken into consideration. Um, there was some wiggle room in there, and that's why I felt like they were just a little teetery. Yeah, what up, Sarah? It's dope seeing y'all in here, my peoples, man. That's why this community is amazing. It's like some of the best people and best friends I have right now are miles and miles and miles away from me, and I only have them because of one wheel. So I love it. Again, just a chill night. Yeah, Lewis, you get it. Especially price point wise, like it's kind of a no-brainer. Like if you're trying to get into footholds, there's two directions to go. Really, there's either you want something like control freaks and Joe hooks, where it's more up front, or you want, and then overlanders or flight fins, where you got to pull inward. Now, each has its advantages and disadvantages. I would say I'm a fan of the push outward. Joe hooks, control freaks, overlanders. Shredfest, like Oak City Shredfest? Oh yeah. Oh yes, 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 I will. I already got my tickets. I'll be at Oak City Shredfest for sure. Speculation is that there's going to be a wheel scorcher. So if that happens, that's also going to be down in North Carolina again. So I'll be at that. Float Life Fest, North Carolina again. I plan on being at that. I really want to get out to, I got it on my calendar and days out for Windman. So I'm trying to get to that. And then the other thing I want to do is actually just go to Race for the Rail as a spectator, just to be there, chit chat, talk, network, all of that jazz. And I thought about playing music, but I was like, you know what? I don't want to play music and then get hit for you know, demonetize, like all that jazz for copyright. Oh my God. Oak City Shred Fest was the most amazing time. Like life changing in many ways. Just the connections you make, and the people you meet and all of that. It's just, oh, you're talking about Race for the Rail? Yeah. I was thinking about that. My plan is to see if I can network with somebody. Okay, word. Hell yeah. Um, yeah, my plan was to see if I can network with somebody and at least like stay with someone who lives out there. So then that way it cuts down on my, just the cost of going overall. Hell yeah. Yeah, I know. I saw Opal came out. I was so envious just because I'm like, damn. I'm like, I wish I could just take off and go. Because if I coulda, I'd have been out. That's dope. Oh, word. You can volunteer. Does it make it cheaper for you to volunteer? I mean, well, if you're hooking me up with a ticket anyway, like it wouldn't. In exchange, word. So what's the riding out there? Like, say, like I come out as a spectator, right? But I plan like the better part of that week. So like I come out, shit, like Tuesday. Oh, the GTS in the snow is a blast, dude. I will say if you're gonna do it, um, I would say if you're gonna do it and you're gonna ride in the snow, either badger for sure. But if you don't badger, um, just really try not to get snow on the footpads. Like if you chill. Flume Trail, yeah. Yeah, word, word. Yeah, no, that's the other thing I was wondering about, like going out there. If there was a lot of trails around to ride other than, the. But I think I either saw you doing footage or maybe somebody else who was out there during that time frame. Um, so I actually like the fender in the snow. Now I haven't ridden in the snow and it hasn't been that cold where it like froze up on me yet. Yeah, it does drain the battery more, but I like it because it keeps the snow off the foot pads and then it keeps less water, dripping down. That's not really fun. Like, gets on my nerves or like gets to my nerves is when water's up on the foot pads and then it's like, it's dripping down on top of the control box. So Anybody else notice how like the snow looks different now? Like at least the snow here, it had these like white specks in it, almost as if it already has salt in the snow. Like it's weird. Oh, so my intro. Um so honestly, that I did on a whim one day. It was cold as hell out there, and I hit my boy Steve up, who you probably seen in some of my videos and stuff. And I'm like, yo, I want to record an intro for my YouTube channel. I don't know what I want it to be. I'm like, but let's link up, go out, ride, see what I can figure out. And overnight, I thought in my mind, I'm like, all right, maybe I can have something where, I'm coming down the street. And then I think it was at that point in time, I was really looking into, oh, sorry, I got mad comments here. Can I scroll? I haven't touched anything yet. Yeah, I can scroll. Okay, cool. So at that point in time in the editing, like my editing time frame, I was like really looking in different videos on like editing and doing different effects and stuff like that. And one of them was transitions, through things, past things, around things. So then I started playing around with that. And that's what made me try to do. I was like, all right, maybe if I put my hand up, then I can go through my hand. And it was like literally thought of on the fly. And then once I got done recording it, I came back. I can't remember if I found the music first. That track is actually my neighbor. They make music. And so, yeah, that's kind of like how that one came about. Like literally just my boy Steve, if I hit him up and ask him to go do something with me, he's going to go do it. And like, he's going to help me out. We got to go, huh? Okay. Find something about Clintesdale Chris. Girlfriend in the gang. To a night. Yeah. All right. That's weird that it hasn't come off yet, and it's been all this time. The only bad part about rocking a Fender is it does hold the snow. So when you come inside and it starts to melt, there's a lot of shit melting down. So as soon as I get in the house, I actually take the Fender off. I sweep the board off with just a broom. To just get as much of the loose snow off of it as possible, so that way it's not melting down on it. And get into the GTS rain questions on trails. So, real shit, GTS, me, right now, I'm probably like 218. And if I'm riding and pushing it, the one spot that I got, the one spot that we go to, I can probably get a solid like 10 miles out of the tire before, yeah, probably about 10 miles. It's harder to do on this box, and I'm getting slime squirted at me like, great, I should have waited to take this out. That means I gotta go get a towel because it's about to get messy and my rag is downstairs. Hold up. I'm in Jersey. Oh, thank you. That's all I ever use. Honestly, once we moved on to these soft compound tires, no, I can't use that as a rag. Hold on real quick. Let me go grab a freaking towel. Once Once they gave us these soft ass compound tires, it made it so easy just to do it by hand. Issue here is I didn't realize this tire had that much slime in it. It started spitting out at me. So back to tire range. I get very distracted or sidetracked. So if I get off the topic I was talking about, and you're like, "Yo, what the fuck? You didn't answer my question. You were talking about it." Say that shit. Just be like, "Yo, what the fuck? You didn't answer my question. What are you talking about?" So range. I get pint like range on this thing. Like I said, about 9 to 12 miles max, depending on the trail. Street, mix of street and trail, depending on how much street and trail. The max I've seen on my GTS with me has probably been, I think it was like 19 miles, maybe, was the max. All right. So, tip of the night. Well, so back to getting here. So, tire I'm putting on. That bad boy, Pioneer. It's a beauty. We'll talk about it. So, I personally I feel like I'm going to love that tire. Oh, hold on. Tip of the night, as far as people who have a hard time getting lifesavers off. Well, I mean, they're easy to get off. But honestly, if you just take a pair of needle nose pliers or something, you just grab the one side and like it literally just peels off. I've watched videos of people just struggle with that. And I'm just like, it shouldn't be that hard of an ordeal. And I still need to go get another towel because this is about to get nasty. Now between street and trail, that's not that bad. Hold on, let me grab a real towel. This is about to get freaking disgusting. And my lady hates it when I use our towels for shit like this. That's why you gotta just keep them happy when they ask for stuff. You get it for them. You know, all that good jazz. Love her to death. So the Pioneer is, in my opinion, I mean, if you watch me on Instagram at all, the big boys are gonna like it more than the little guys, purely for the fact of like how it turns. If you've ever ridden the treaded Vega, some people are indifferent. A lot of people hate it. I love that tire. If you've ever ridden that tire, it rides like that tire, but on steroids. And I say on steroids because I say on so nasty. I say on steroids because probably because I was moving around. Yeah, you know how cheap Amazon mics are, man. You get what you get. You let them rock. What was I saying? I feel like I was answering questions. I forget what the hell I was saying. You threw me off. Oh, on steroids because so the treaded Vega, a lot of people hated it because it didn't really have a turn. Didn't really, carve in at all. This tire has a carve in, but it is more similar to the Vega than it would be to like an Enduro. You know what I mean? Like it is going to be a blockier tire. It is a tire where you're gonna stay in there. Oh, hold on. It's a tire where you're gonna honestly pressure up some because it's got so much rubber on it that if you put the PSI down too much, it literally feels super, super flat. Do you think you can get completely shredded? No, honestly, I got very, very lucky. Um, the one wheel gods were with me, camera gods were with me. What you see there is uh, the camera protection screen, the lens guard that got smashed. And that's what took that crack. And thank God for that thing. So it's still alive. I came home. If you run a 360 too, and you've tried different lens guards and it's annoyed you that like it does this fisheye thing, hit me in my DM or either comment on this like afterwards or hit me on Instagram and I'll send you the link to the one I use because I've tried a couple of them. And unfortunately, the best one comes in a kit with like the screen protector for the front of the 360 as well as the lens covers. And I think this camera cover type thing comes with it. It's the only one, but you get all that for about the same price you'd be spending on one of the other one that boasts to be good. Yeah, like you're saying, like if you hit me up on Instagram or I'll send you the link, like I said, to the one that I get. And literally every time, like right, I ordered another one after I put this one on because it's like at some point I'm probably gonna need it, and I just have it on reserve. Matter of fact, right here, this is nasty, like fucking disgusting. Like I'm a fan of tire sealant, but I'm not. Word, yeah, I got you. I really need to. I was thinking about that the other day. Honestly, the killer with all of this stuff, like when it comes to doing social media, and trying to, because you notice nobody out there really just straight up, asks for people for money. A lot of them do affiliate marketing. And it literally just comes down to not being lazy. Like you just have to go on and fill out the ish. And okay. Do I have any up here? I need to go get my other secret weapon for tire change. So into this build, this is the hold on, that's right. You came a little later. Hold on. This is this board. 007s. So whether or not we're keeping the 007s is still up in the air. I still have never ridden this board. I put them on just to take pictures, and you know, I stood on the board in the house on the carpet, but I've never taken it outside. Um, Being that wide open makes me nervous, and the dovetails really have my eye because they're closed. Honestly, I wish that they would take like these are honestly katanas that got trussed out. If you look at the shape of them, katanas they change their angle in the front, 7 in the back. If they would have just made these in the same way katanas are made, just solid rails down the side, I'd love it. Yeah, I got you. I got you, Sarah. I got you. Like I said, I haven't taken them outside yet. They're not going outside until the weather is pristine. Like I refuse. You know how it is out here East Coast. It's muddy. Like that shit's nasty. And like I know you had them on your other board, so like, you're used to it. But I just can't deal with it. All right, let me go grab my other secret weapon for putting a tire on. It might get staticky again. Hold on. Thought I had everything. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm back. Sound good? I don't know if y'all caught heat of that, but you know, stop spending your money on the bead buddy and all of this jazz, spraying Windex all over the place. Just some dish soap, little fucking goober, like barely a goober, and you run that mug right around. Might need to re-up for the other side, but little goober, and you run it. Don't buy no bead buddy. Or nothing against bead buddy, none of them, you know what I mean? But again, I'm here giving you the real deal reviews and like keeping money in your pocket. Watch. You do that, your bead should slide right on when you go to set it. And again, this part might have to, yeah, I'm gonna have to go get on the ground for this part because these boxes are too wobbly. That's the same. I think there's a weight difference. Yeah, there's definitely a weight difference on the rails. Probably spring in the season. Yeah, the mud is terrible. Like even here, early spring, it is just absolutely disgusting out there. So the ground's thawing out, and oh my God, I don't have enough space back here. The ground's thawing out, and it's just nasty. We back. Yo, Soul Slasher, what's good? I'm good. I'm good. Putting tire on, kicking it with my peoples. About to try to slam this back on without warming it up. Then another part of this should be done on the ground, but hand strength goes a long way. All right. All right, what are our guesses, people? What's she popping at? Bead 1, bead 2. Put your guesses in there and just put a slash. Just bang, slash, bang. One thing I have noticed with these like little hella small pump type pumps, they don't have that rush of air that you need to initially get the tire to start sitting. There we go. Now it's starting. All right, 15, 24, 45, 18. I'm at 5.5 right now. Usually another trick I'll do, hopefully you can still hear me. 1422, word. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'll put 2 ratchet straps right down the middle like tire wraps. You put them on there so then that way, helps push the bead out. Also, another tip for you: if you got lifesavers and you're just swapping lifesavers out, especially with that in performance treaded tire from one wheel, do one saver at a time. So it's like you put one lifesaver on, slide the tire on, set the bead, and you pop the bead off the other side, put the lifesaver on, and then set that bead. It'll make it a lot easier. Good, you can hear me fine. We're at 17 and a half. Still no pop. There's one. That was 20. It was like 19 and a half. And then 20 and a half. So 19 and a half, 20 and a half. Let's see. Let's go back. Price is Right. Closest without going over. We got 15. What do we say? 19. So we got 18. It's like Lewis got it. Price is Right style. What do you think? He said 18 and the first one was 19 and a half. So closest without going over. Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot. I put the valve back in because it was squirting slime before. I'm like ready for the air to just shoot out. All right, here's the annoying part about any tire change, in my opinion. It's just lining it and mounting that bitch back up in the rails, man. All the fandangle shit going on. I think I can sneak that in there. Give me a second here. Should have taken that off before I put this back in between there. That's where I fucked up. I forgot to take the axle bolts back out. So, what events is everybody going to this year? What I'm gonna see all that? Where we rocking out? And so I listed off where I planned on going earlier. It wasn't here, Oak City, anything on the East Coast. And then I really want to make it to Windman, and then spectator at Race for the Rail, and what else I'd say? Yeah, those guys. And honestly, this might be the reason why I usually opt to just take a rail off, because it's honestly easier. Yo, Frank, what's good? Oak City Dirt Surfers Race for the Rail. Word. Do it. Go rip the Grom. Is there any snow there? Go find some snow and play around in it for sure. Especially if it's that cold, because then at least you'll build your body temp up and it'll be worth it. Right. Yep, we're going back to the roots. Fuck it. We're going back to the way I know. I was trying to do something different. I was trying to utilize, as cool as the cable retainer is, where you can drop the wheel without it. It's honestly still just easier to take a rail off and to swap the tire. Yeah, black ice is definitely the danger there, for sure. I didn't even think about that at first. Maybe you shouldn't go out on your ground. So, yes, stunting on a one wheel is possible because it is much like skateboarding and how we did tricks on skateboards back in the day. It's like that. So you go out and you get freak nasty that way with it. Got a couple homies that are just insane with it. Like the homie Cricket, he's just an absolute animal. Just came in and took the world by storm. I loved it. Yeah, like it's actually like it's a growing scene right now that is like highly on the rise due to just people taking action in the community and making things happen. Like Greg, Cricket. I don't know. I mean, there's too many people to list and name. So my story, how I got into one wheel. Let me just put this on so I don't jack it up. My story on how I got into one wheel is I had always seen them, and I always wanted one, but I never knew anybody who had one to merit like spending the money on something like that to get it. It's like, who am I going to ride with, right? So I come home one day and my boy Steve hits me up and he's like, yo, Annie bought me a one wheel. Annie's his fiance. They're people who are with me all the time. When I do my birthday getaways and stuff like that. So he's like, yeah, Annie bought me a one wheel. I'm just like, no way. He's like, yep. I'm just like, all right, say no more. I literally hang up with him, go online, and purchase a one wheel straight off of Future Motion's website, just straight like that. And prior to that, board sports. Yeah, I grew up. I loved skateboarding. That was probably my main board sport, and then did a little bit of snowboarding. Yeah, see how much easier it is. Did a little bit of snowboarding. Happy birthday, Asher Clark, man. How old? Yeah, 007s. If you're in Boston, there's definitely people up there to ride with. There's a crew up there. So if you were to need anybody to ride with, connections could definitely be made to get you riding with people. That's the greatest thing about this community. You could, and I learned that once I came into it. Like, honestly, if I knew how the community was, I would have bought one way before. It wouldn't have taken somebody else to, help me get into it. I'm thankful for it, though, ever so grateful. Um, but just the community, man. Like you literally step in, and people will take care of you. You know, it's because that isn't the right screw. It's that one. And make sure you're all right. Like it's insane, honestly. You won't regret it. You won't regret it at all. Trust me. Like I love motorcycles. Like growing up riding motorcycles, like that was my shit. And then I got into stunt riding. Before stunt riding, it was just going out, hitting the turns, hitting the corners and stuff. Um, and then I rode a one wheel. And with stunt riding a motorcycle, like you can't just do that everywhere. You're in parking lots. You can get kicked out of this parking lot, that parking lot. Some people might find a sweet spot, and then you'll have a place to go to for a while, and then that'll get burned, and then you gotta find a new spot. And like it's just this constant, gamble. And then even when you go on street rides, I mean, I'm sure you guys have seen it. The videos and the dudes doing wheelies in the street and shit like that through like Philly and Chicago. Yeah, that was me. Um, and it's like you just realize that, you know, just legally. Is it better? I think it happens whenever I bend over and my hair covers it. Because I noticed my hair had moved. We good? And if you're talking about, I got to tap it again. Um, I don't know if you meant the mic or tap 12 o'clock, because yes, I do need to tap 12 o'clock on a bike again. Because I mean, like one wheeling, there's no feeling like one wheeling. There's no feeling like 12 o'clock. Like honestly. Oh yeah, Hetty ain't no joke. If you don't know who Hetty is, go check her out on Instagram. She did the damn thing last year. She went to race for the rail. Um, show people the East Coast, coming with the what's up, like we ain't out here slacking just because we ain't got that West Coast, swag vibe. Like, no, we working too, and she put in work, fucking work, traveling and going and doing the damn thing. So, represented the East Coast to the fucking fullest. And I think who else was it was it Joanna or what's her name? I'm terrible with names. So like even in like when we meet at an event, am I on the right setting? Yeah. When we meet at an event, Joan, if I don't remember your name, do not take offense to it at all. I am terrible, terrible with names. Unless like what's going on here? What's going on here? In Florida. That shit is wild too. Oh yeah, everyone can do it. Hey. Yeah, that's gotta. And where you at, DJ? When you say you're in the middle of nowhere? So Joanna's in Arizona. Okay. I don't know why I thought there was somebody that was from up here in Massachusetts that went to the race, but Minnesota. So crazy part is I spent some time in Minnesota. Um, my background being music, I actually worked with an opera company out there up in Aurora, Minnesota, called the Northern Lights Music Festival. Um, and it was a blast, actually. A lot of fun, life changing. Jamie Deal. Shout out Jamie Deal. What's good? What's good? Appreciate you checking in here, coming in here. Um, Yeah, that's right. Lloyd's Board Shop. Heady on that. See, the connection with One Wheel is everywhere. Like it's a beautiful thing. It's so beautiful. So yeah, these rails are delish, but again, I'm not a fan of the whole wide openness. It just there's something the way I ride and the way I treat the board when I'm riding it. Like I'm kind of not that I'm bad on a board like that. Like I'm no offense, Jeff, but I'm no Jeff there. Like he be sending it, boy. Um, I'm not like him with drops and stuff, but if I'm gonna hit some chunk, I'm gonna hit some chunk, and you know the board it takes its tumble and roll. You know. So custom rail. So oh Lord. So custom rails give the board a different ride. So the ones that I have on this board that I'm working on are called 007s because there's 7 degrees of kick up in the back, 0 degrees in the front because keep it level in the front. Then you got prior to those, which they replaced, were katanas. These were 7 in the back, 3.5 in the front. These are called katana 357s. They also make those are tech rails, One Wheel Parts, onewheelparts.com. Go get them. Yeah, you got tech rails, and then do I have other? No, those are just regular straight rails. Tech rails makes a shit ton of rails. Float Life makes a shit ton of rails. I think W rails are on a board down there. Um, yeah, they enhance the ride. They enhance the clearance in places in different areas. So then that way you know you're not scraping your tail as you're going downhill. Uh, Helps speed for sure. Yes, it definitely does. Doubling back on what Hetty said. Definitely because it gives your stance a more aggressive stance and angle, which then enables you to accelerate harder. So at least that's how I felt with tail rails. All right, so boom, boom, boom. Screws here, gotta tighten those. And then we flip her and do those other guys. All right, now we're back on track. Oh yeah, bone stock One Wheel is. Where's that? Oh, is it downstairs? Yeah, it is because it's thawing. That's the one I was riding in the snow. Yeah, my other one is pretty much stock. I just have like a little lifting kit on it. But yeah, straight rails. You can rip straight rails. Honestly, I tell people it's like learn how to ride them straight rails and then step into some hot shit. Because I feel like it's my opinion, but I feel like it's just like with the whole vest thing. It's like if you start off on a vest, I feel like you're at more disadvantages than somebody who's been riding a plus all the way up through. Just because they had to learn and the muscle memory and different skill sets that this new person that started out on the vest never even had to think about because the board thinks more for you. Again, my opinion. Loves me a vest though. I knew you would like that one, Hetty. I knew you would like that. Because we think the same in that regard. Like, like props need to be given where props is due. Like, it's just like the whole battle with, FFM and all this, that, and in the third. It's like, what business has ever done anything perfect for every single person under the sun who has looked at that business? Name one. I dare you. None. because somebody always got something to say. So it's like, you do what you know is right for you and your product. Let the people keep talking, and it ain't gonna change shit. And you keep it moving. Yeah, it is. The world is our oyster. Like, yeah. Uh, but yeah, y'all know me. I'll say some stuff, but I only say things that I feel like need to be said though. Like like it's not like I just come out of the woodwork with a topic. You know, like something has to happen for me to um, like go off, especially the way I go off. Like my recent tangents, right, which are about the late schedules and releasing. It's like the reason oh my god, yo, let's see, did I put it on backwards? Because I really didn't pay attention to what direction I was holding the tire when we got lucky. It's on the right direction. Uh, yeah, I did not. I just now realized. I'm like, no, did I? Because this tire, honestly, I usually would run my enduros. I would run backwards. This one, I honestly want to run forward just to, give it its rightful chance and review. Where am I at in my process? Okay, I slam those in. We're good there. We're good there. All right. Yep, that's what I'm saying. You can't please everyone. I'm like reading back here because I was working a little bit. Yeah, you can't please everyone at all. Um, no, I hear you. Straight rails, like when I go back to straight rails now, I have to readjust. Um, so the backwards enduro, I feel like caught more traction. Um, and honestly, it might be the same with this. Mainly when it came into high speed going in the turn and you brake, the tires slid out less because since the reverse tread, it was catching better than like being in a direction to roll. 5 to 6. Oh my God, you were riding on the rim. Is that what you went down the mountain with at Race for the Rail? 5 to 6 psi. If I took off like that, I wouldn't make it to the bottom. Like I'm I'm, I'm rolling the bead or something like, or the ride would just be so shitty and like I'd be all over the place. I'm like, fuck this. I'm like, I can't, because that's super low. Oh, Windman. Okay, that's still. It might be worse there than Race for the Rail having to be that low. Because there, I think it's got more curve, like berms and turns and stuff, where Race for the Rail is kind of just like a Hot Wheels leading the way kind of race. Like, flat tire. Yeah, Nico's a featherweight. Like, he can't, like, he runs like 3 psi. Like, he just puts the tire on. Like, he doesn't even He doesn't even. He sets the bead, lets the air out, puts the valve stem in, puts the valve cap on. Let's ride. Like that's all he needs. It's wild, yo, absolutely wild. Again, air tags, people. Yeah, I always keep a pump on me. Always keep a pump on me. Just for that reason. Especially with these soft tires nowadays. Like I find, you hit roots hard enough, they bleed air out the sidewalls and stuff like that. So there's days, especially wintertime, I noticed that hard rubber tire. There's days where I put air in my tire a couple times on the ride because of that. Word. And honestly, the performance treaded for a mobber tire, it's not bad. Like it takes a minute to like you honestly got to break it in a little bit, and then it starts turning better. Um, but yeah, like it's Savage approved. I mean, it's on the list. And I could definitely see that at women. Like you get in the zone and you're just like, especially if the segments are set up where they're like, you know, one after another, like you just bang through them and like you're just focused, and just bah, ah, ah. Oh yeah, this year is going to be a very very exciting. Get that bullshit out of here. Um, a very very exciting year when it comes to that because yes, like impressive performance. The fact that he was that close to him with no bindings. That's the thing. Like, imagine he starts stepping into some bindings. But I mean, unfortunately, that won't happen unless they create some. Yeah, I saw your comment. I ain't entertaining that bullshit. This is a one wheel YouTube channel. No politics around there. Right? Like you got exactly, yo. It's like, yo, that means it's like we're on the rise. We're doing good things around here, and people want to step in with that dumb shit. But you see me, I ain't afraid to call it, say it. Like, get out of here with that bullshit. Like, fuck is it? If I, if I'm the wrong channel, thinking they're gonna come in and somebody just gonna fold. Mm-mm. I hate how soft this plastic can be sometimes. Yeah, it's a constant effort at this. I mean, honestly, I've been doing YouTube for a long time. Like, I started off with the bike life stuff. No, I started off with fishing. I have a fishing YouTube. It's still active, still alive. You can look it up. It's called Lunchtime Limits. And it was back when I was working in the corporate world, working at Dow Jones. And there was a pond that they had right outside. and it was stock full of bass. I'm talking like I probably missed an 8 in there for 8 pounds. And it's just this pond, like you walk around it on lunch, and it's so stocked where I had a lunchtime limit. You had 12 casts, and you had to catch as many fish as you could in 12 casts. Oh, one was definitely a pain. Not a pain. Yeah, an escape from the pain of the world. But yeah, I would go out 12 casts, and I think it was 12 casts. I can't remember now. I think it was. And but that's how stocked it was. You could go out, and within 12 casts, you could catch a fish. And that's what started me on YouTube. I started there, and I would travel around and hit different spots, my brother and I, or just whatever friends. Um, and that was some time ago. Like, I'd probably say I've been doing YouTube for, see, I've been at my job now for 6 years. Then, yeah, easy 9 years, maybe going on a decade almost. So, this channel's growth is genuine growth, like the numbers and stuff. So, oh yeah, like there ain't no point in entertaining that nonsense because it's like, what are we even gonna talk or argue about? Like, I ain't got nothing to say to people like that. But we finished. Yeah, out of screws, and the board's back together. Everything's intact in place. So more about this tire because I kind of got off topic. Appreciate you, Frank, for real. No, I don't play Fortnite. Um, so when I did game, my game of choice was Borderlands. That was my top game. That was the game that would make me buy a new system. Um, but yeah, so more about this tire. Road noise, has a lot of road noise. Expect it. Don't be thinking it's gonna be a quiet tire by any means. It is not. The tread on it is gnarly. The traction is amazing. The sidewall is, you got to break it in, honestly. The way they made it, these like sharp edges here run right along the soft spot where the normal sidewall would like pan out and like you get on the edge where the edge would be. You got to break that in because the rubber is significantly thicker than a normal tire. So, let's see, can you even see like look at how I'm grabbing? Like there's so much rubber on that. Like I can grab it where like I'm not, like that is what you can get on this one. So it's night and day difference amount of rubber. You're gonna run a higher pressure in it just because again, too low it's gonna feel flat. Honestly, they may as well be. You mean like a true knobby tire, like for EUC, like a dirt bike tire? Honestly, that's something that like me and the homie Quade, who's in Colorado, um, we've chit chatted about designs on things before, and that's something that we actually like. I honestly wish, like, I got a little bit of money to invest, and if it's like 10 G's for a like a mold or to be made, like I'm willing to invest that money in the tire designs that him and I have come up with because we come up with some shit that I feel like would change the game. Oh my god. Bro, I was born in '87. That bend over bullshit ain't, you ain't gonna trick me with it. I'm gonna see it and just say it just because I know what you're doing. Um, Yeah, no, I know what you mean. Like a true fucking knobby, as they call them. Taking it way back, like nostalgic, right? Like grade school, keying in the corner because you got the substitute. But anyway, what time is it now? 10:09. Oh, that's actually good timing for tire change and like chit chatting with y'all and everything. The best times, man. Oh, I've ridden a float wheel. Uh, Oh yeah, the nostalgia, like all that shit, like literally keying in the corner, the substitutes, like yo, how are we gonna get it? Like we had this substitute. I'm gonna get back on topic for the ADV in 1 second. We had this substitute. Her name was Miss Bolsibage, and we would call her Miss Ball Savage, and it was the most ridiculous. Like I felt so bad. Like now, I feel so bad for her because and she was older too. She was like an older, mean lady. Um, and like I guess she was mean because people would call her Miss Ball Savage. Like, and it's like she couldn't help with her last name. I guess she married the dude she married, but yeah, yeah, that's the type of shit keying about in the corner. Yeah, so I have rode an ADV or a float wheel, and now I'll be honest with you, I don't know what battery was in what or exactly which one. I know it was a float wheel. I'm pretty sure it wasn't the one where you can see the multiple settings on the outside. It wasn't that one. Oh, I know. I don't really honestly. I follow Tony to the point where I just glance at his stuff on YouTube and I crack up just because like it's kind of crazy how he's just like in our faces, just shitting all over the things that were done with the one wheel, and it's just like he's got balls, man. Like so, I kind of give him the props for it there. Like fuck. Um, but not. It was cool. So the float wheel I rode, I don't know if it was the tune. It had a Nico tune, I think, with some slight adjustments. And what I've noticed with Nico's tunes, nothing against Nico's tunes, it's how he likes to ride, is they all nose up. Even at low speed, you can be low speed and you feel like you're at pushback, like on the XR when you start to just hit and it just starts to come out, like you feel like you're in a slight pushback the whole time. Um, Even riding flat ground, it's just weird. Um, it had this weird crunch to it. Oh my god, it had this weird crunch to it, and yeah, I don't know much about the BMS. That's your world, Dave. I don't. You know how I am. I'm just out here ripping the board. One of the homies let me try it. It did have this weird crunch to it. Like, oh yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. The BMS where it could possibly dump you. Um, like if you were to push on it and overpower it, like to do a nose drag, it sounded like it was clunky and grunt. Like I don't know. Like I said, it just might have been that tune or that board, but um, yeah, it's definitely got balls. Like the thing rips for sure, and it definitely takes an adjustment to get used to. Because like the way it was tuned, the brakes on it were like, oh, they were so stiff. Like you could barely nudge a curb. Like as you'd roll up to the curb, and as you go to lift your nose, it would just stop you dead in your tracks. Bob, better be beautiful. Now that's taking it back. That's the old phone commercials. Wow. Is that what that sound is in it, Dave? Like whatever that, like that high pitched shit. I feel like it's less now than what it used to be. Like people back when they first were building their Vesks and they'd ride by you, like you'd hear, it's terrible. Like it was like nails on a chalkboard for me. All right, so well, let's set the PSI on this thing while we still here. Yeah, like super hard brakes. What am I doing? But look, for the price, let's backtrack a second here. for the price of what you get, and if you haven't, honestly, like us who buy one wheels, like we built an allegiance with one wheel. We like the ride that the one wheel gives us. But yeah, for the price, like it's fire. Like honestly, you can't go wrong for the price. Like now again, new to one wheel, riding on the vest, you get on that, you're not gonna, the rider skill part of it. It's gonna be different. Y'all have feet pics. Listen, it's crazy that that's like such a lucrative business. Like people be making six. Now I get it if they got pretty feet. All right, like shorties out here making money, they got pretty feet or whatever. But what's crazy is when you see these bitches out here with like bunions and shit like that, and they be boasting about making money, like how the random ads and shit like on the Explorer or something on Instagram, it just come. It's like, how the fuck are these old bitches making money off these bunion ass feet? Like, we were collecting feet pics. Oh my god. This is hilarious. It's like, who knew this shit was gonna go that way? We finished putting the board together, and then it turned into one wheel after hours or something. Like what was the name of that show? It's like One Wheel Life Confession. Taxi Cab Confessions, but just one wheel style. Yeah, they feel amazing. The rails. I'm not gonna lie. Like even the tire feel. Oh, wait a minute. This actually feels way different on a railed board than it does straight rails because I have one on another board. This is pretty interesting. And I ride on them. Ah, that's what it is. Okay. Can't give you all my secret sauce now. Red Shoe Diaries. That was another one that was on there. There was Real Sex. Y'all remember being a kid, staying up late night HBO. It was like after 11 o'clock, that shit would go from being just like family movies, maybe a little bit risky, racy movies to fucking late night. Oh yeah, the Carpet Pants. Oh yeah, oh yeah. South Park was the shit. It's crazy what's going on with the Teslas out there in the cold right now. But I mean, it's to be expected when it comes to batteries. Oh yeah, this definitely NC-17, maybe even a little more. But all right, y'all. Who's going riding tomorrow? Because I'm about to. I actually, yeah, I just thought about it. I actually have to wind down, go to bed. We're going to a camper show tomorrow. I'm going to look and shop for possibly like a RV style camper. So we'll see what they have there. Anything new and innovative um, for us to travel around in. Because my dream, honestly, is just to be able to stay the weekend at like a trailhead. And oh yeah, yo, yeah, the preset you had to get on like the previous channel button. You make sure you had that shit set up, and then all of a sudden it's like you hear anything, you click that shit, and it's like act like ain't shit happened. Yo, that is memories right there. Yeah, memory. And I can remember we lived in an apartment, so my mom would be coming down the hallway. It wasn't like I had steps or anything. So in the apartment, oh, the comments be coming in late. Yeah, so that RV camper. Um, I'm going to check something and see if we can find something. Honestly, I'm hoping to get a good deal on something. Just doing it at a show, it's like, yo, you're trying to make a sale. The shit's marked up. Like, come on, like, just get the sale, but give me a good price. It's like it's something cool and unique, especially. Um, all right, Lewis, be easy. We all about to get out of here because I gotta go down here and chill. Um, but yeah, like something unique. You know how they make them different ones that are every year. It's like, yeah, you got this new model out here. I got a YouTube. I travel around, or I'm trying to travel around. Help me to help you, kind of deal. So, but yeah, you're able to get out and ride tomorrow. I'm not going to be able to based off, I was going to the camp show and then coming back. Depending on when we get back, we'll see. But yeah, get out and ride tomorrow. I appreciate all of y'all being in here, man. For real, like I wasn't even like I didn't know what to expect. My first live, like just changing the tire and having people to kick it with while I'm changing the tire and chit chat. It's pretty dope. So I appreciate y'all being here for me, man. I mean, I got my wheel family in here holding it down strong, so it don't surprise me. Like there's somebody there's somebody in the community who's going to support you on a venture and something new that you're trying to step out and do something new. It's that lady right there. So yeah, I'm thankful for her. Um, can't wait for the next event, man. I can't wait. Like I just keep thinking about Float Life Fest, like chilling, just the vibes, everything. So anyway, everybody have a good night, and I will catch y'all in the next one. We're gonna go live again. We're going next board maintenance. I ain't tolerating at all. I love having you in the chat. But yeah, next maintenance we'll get back on here again. So till next time, stay humble, stay hungry, and you'll always remain humbly savage. Peace out, Shred Diaries. Franklin, you're welcome. Appreciate y'all sticking around. Eddie, Dave, Lewis, everybody who was here. Take it easy, y'all.